does help if you actually unmute the microphone. Just going to test the sound. Does help if you actually unmute the microphone. Right, there we go. So we can test the sound out. Not working very well here. So not why happens. Let's try sound now. Sound check. Hello? Sound? Sound? Sound now? Sound now? Sound check. Hello? Sound? Sound now? Sound now? Sound check. Okay. So the sound seems to be working better than it was before. And I think we're good to go. Apologies for earlier on. I didn't know what the sound was like. Now I know the sound. People can be complaining about the sound. Now we know the sound is up. We are good to go, and apologies for that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Ingram Jones, and let's get into it. Bayloric TV special. Whyte versus Chisora. Gloves are off. You've seen it now. If you haven't seen it, then I'm sorry. This is going to be a bit of a spoiler for you. But if you have seen it, this is the review of The Gloves Are Off. For those of you who tuned in yesterday, for the most part of yesterday, and the Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora preview of yesterday's preview, I think a lot of the points that I made regarding Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora and my breakdown before the sound went, I was pretty much spot on. So looking at Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte, I don't know what the history was between Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora. Derek's got one chain of events. Dillian's got another chain of events. But there were some things that I brought up that were completely spot on. I remember talking to people and saying Dillian Whyte was not fit. He was not ready to fight Anthony Joshua. Dillian Whyte, remember I said also on the show that Derek Chisora never faced Anthony Joshua. Dillian Whyte brought it up in the show that Chisora didn't face Anthony Joshua until he was scared. Derek Chisora, being the experienced fighter, understood the process of fighting for less than the money that he is worth. And the offer probably was given to Derek was below what he was looking for a fight with Anthony Joshua. So when he turned around to Dillian Whyte and says, "Who's the donkey now?" what he's basically saying is that, you know, in Derek's words, he's basically saying that Dillian Whyte was being used, and the money he was got for the Anthony Joshua fight wasn't as much as he should have got. So that's where he's saying, "Who's the donkey now?" Because he revealed to Dillian Whyte the money that he was offered, and the money that Dillian Whyte took is money that Derek Chisora wouldn't have taken. So who's the donkey now? The other thing is this. I'm going to put it on you. I've said before, Derek Chisora, he tries to get in the mind of a fighter, and I believe Derek believes his best shot of beating Dillian Whyte is to engage him in a fight. Not this all new scientific boxing. Engage him in a fight, make him lose his rag, because he'll feel that Dillian Whyte hasn't got the experience at the highest level. Is Derek Chisora the highest level? Well, his results and the fights he's had have been just below world class, or just below world championship level. If he'd been above world championship level, he'd be a world champion today. That's one way of looking at it. The fight he had against Vitaly Klitschko was on his 14th, 15th fight. I mean, he was a relative novice in comparison to the 40+ or fights that Vitaly Klitschko had operating at world level. So that was an opportunity that Derek took. When did Derek have another world title shot? I don't know if he did. And then has Derek Chisora had another world title shot? I know he's fought Tyson Fury twice, but to my mind, he's had one world title shot. And then he had a world title elimination with David Haye and got knocked out. Right, so he's only had one title shot. So a world title shot, I'm talking. And along the way, he's picked up the British Championship, the European Championship, and WBO belts and fringe titles as well. So my point is, Derek Chisora's best bet in his mind is, well, I don't want Dillian Whyte jabbing and moving and doing like scientific stuff. I want it to become a fight. I want Dillian Whyte to lose his rag. I want Dillian Whyte to get wild, and while he's getting wild, then I'm going to plant one on him. That's with the hope. Now, to be fair, Dillian Whyte's performances since he's come back from the shoulder injury, and even in the fight against Joshua, we know that he fought with a bad shoulder. Now, thinking he fought with a bad shoulder, and he rocked Anthony Joshua with a bad shoulder. And you heard it revealed by Derek Chisora himself, where Chisora turned around and said himself, hey, Adam Booth told you, don't take the fight. So I come back to something I said when Dillian Whyte and Joshua fought. I said, this fight has come too soon for Dillian Whyte. He's taking money. He should not take this fight. But there were loads of people on Twitter. Oh, you should take the fight. Oh, he should take the fight. Guy was injured. So he was injured and not in shape. So, oh, well, it's Dillian Whyte's fault. It's okay to say after the event. But give the guy credit. He got in the ring. He fought Anthony Joshua for 8 rounds, stuck around. So these people who jump on the back Joshua bandwagon and say, oh, Joshua's fantastic. He's great. He's the best thing since sliced bread. He basically fought a one-arm fighter. And that one-arm fighter was still able to throw a shot, even though his arm was numb. He had to be numb for the pain. So he was able to fight the weak. Was still able to hurt Joshua significantly. And you got to think to yourself, what would have happened had Dillian Whyte been fully fit and not injured? That's why they were so in a rush to take the fight with Dillian Whyte and to get it out of the way. Understand, great work, a great move. But they almost came unstuck in that fight. Okay, the next thing, Derek Chisora putting on Dillian Whyte, getting up and throwing the table over and then going for Dillian Whyte. That is a psychological thing. I said that's to get inside of Dillian Whyte's mind. Now, I did say that although things were blacked out, there were people who saw what happened and knew what happened and have video evidence as to what happened. And one of the fighters got the better of the other fighter in that situation. Okay, and so does that have a significant effect? I can tell you something now. Looking at Dillian Whyte, his whole position and disposition has been very different to the disposition he had when he had against, Ian Lewison and he's had against Dave Allen. This situation is very different. He's got a situation where he knows there's a guy who's going to come on it and be on him all the time. But he's probably been told by Mark Tibbs, you can box Chisora. If you box him, take the steam out of him for 5-6 rounds, and second half of a fight, then you can put it on him. Because I think at this time, once you get Chisora past 5 or 6 rounds, then let's take him. Then let's go for him. But the first 5-6 rounds, let's hold him. Let's time up. Let's frustrate him. Let's not allow Chisora to get into a rhythm, which is get in and bully and do that stuff. So I think you'll see maybe Dillian Whyte try and be as disciplined as possible and say, look, this ain't worth it, Dillian. It's not worth you losing a chance to fight for the world title next year. It's not worth you getting into the mind games with Derek Chisora. It's not worth you focusing on whether Chisora got the better of you or not, a speculation which way or the other. It's not worth getting into that. It's not worth, you're not going to win any world titles get into street fight with Derek Chisora, right? What you need to do is keep yourself focused, and Tibbs will say, stay focused, box, 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 box. Fight when Chisora doesn't want you to fight, and box, box, box. He saw, but that all being said, this is the first time Dillian Whyte, in my estimation, since the Joshua, and Dillian Whyte still is very much untested or unknown quantity. And people say, well, you're talking rubbish. No, we know he's got lots of balls, lots of heart, takes a great shot, and potentially could be twice the fighter had he been fit and in shape and things going his way. But we have seen Dillian Whyte fit and in shape, and we hope the injuries have passed by, because we look at the fights he had against Ian Lewison and Dave Allen, similar types of fights. They've not been devastating performances. They've been consistently steady going performances, not explosive. Dillian Whyte so far has spoken more explosively than he actually has fought. So he's had 3 fights now since the injury, and all 3 fights have been steady going, not great. Derek Chisora, on the other hand, has fought Kubrat Pulev. He had that fight against Nascimento, which was absolutely awful. And now he's back with Don Charles. So what is Derek Slim boxing for? What we know that Dillian Whyte wants to be in boxing, and we know that Dillian Whyte wants to do what he has to. We know that Dillian Whyte wants to become heavyweight champion of the world. That's where his mind is. He seems younger, fresher, more, like I said before, more prepared to study the sport of boxing to do what he needs to do. Okay, so those are things that I think that need to be considered in his fight when picking the two fighters. Derek has to rough up Dillian Whyte and try and, as I've said before, which says to me, well, you know, I can't beat this guy at a boxing game. No, I can't, but I've got to rough him up. So if I can't rough him up, so I think Dillian Whyte's got more options in this fight as opposed to Derek Chisora. Okay, so I think those are my points so far. Who's Dillian Whyte beaten his career so far? Dave Allen and Ian Lewison. Who's Derek Chisora beat? Parla, Gerber, Malik Scott. So great wins? Not really. Then he's been beaten by the very best. David Haye, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, world champion. David Haye, world champion. Kubrat Pulev. Is Kubrat Pulev world champion? I can't remember. Kubrat Pulev ever won. He challenged for the world title. He wasn't world champion, but he had that IBF Intercontinental belt, European champion, and David Haye, Vitaly Klitschko, Tyson Fury, and yeah. So at the end of the day, I think. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. I've just got a fly in my room. Yeah, I think I've got rid of the fly that was in my room. Yeah, so I had a fly in my room. Yeah. So my point is this: Derek Chisora, we've seen the best of him. I'm not sure we've seen the best of Dillian Whyte. If Dillian, Ingram, that mic you're holding isn't on. You're using the usual one you use. Same as last night. Need to update a setting as it isn't on. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure why that is at the moment, but you hear me clearly, right? That's the main thing, I think. So where we're at the moment is this. And Pulev got stopped by Vlad, but again, Vladimir Klitschko, we still have to question that canvas. Thank you very much, Michael C. We have to question that canvas and the whole legacy of Vladimir Klitschko now, because that was the same canvas. Pulev, being a guy that can normally move around the ring, suddenly was stuck in mud when he fought Vladimir Klitschko. Fight afterwards, the same canvas that you're trying to get Tyson Fury on. I think I've made my point clear about that many times. Yes, we hear you clearly. You're perfect. Thank you very much, Leon, for that. Evening, Charlie. Evening, Michael. Leon. Yeah. So, okay, my review of all it. I've got to watch Dillian Whyte after this, and I was very impressed with Dillian Whyte, the way he was talking. He was very clear, very focused, very, very to the point. I know what I've got to do. This is what I need to be doing. This is what I have to go and accomplish. And he seemed to have focused on that point. If he can stay to that game plan, he can beat Derek Chisora. I can't tell you that I've been impressed with Dillian Whyte's performances, they've been average, but they've been steady, and he's got getting the wins. He has more of a winning mentality than Derek Chisora has. I'm gonna go with Dillian Whyte with this fight. I'm gonna go with Dillian Whyte in this fight. To be honest, I'm gonna go with Dillian Whyte. I think there's gonna be a lot of holding from Dillian. I think there'll be a lot of holding to stop Derek getting into a rhythm. Derek from mid range. If Dillian Whyte keeps a fight in the center of the ring against Derek Chisora, he beats Derek Chisora. If he allows Derek Chisora to pin him on the ropes and land body shots and overhand rights, it's Derek Chisora's fight. But out of the two camps, I think in terms of the corners, Don Charles is a very good trainer. I don't know if he listens to Derek Chisora. I don't know if Derek Chisora actually listens to Don Charles. And in big fights, I don't know how many times that Derek Chisora has actually followed the game plan, the very good game plans Don Charles has put out. Dillian Whyte, on the other hand, has boxed instructions. I'm going to go with Dillian Whyte for this one. Mr. Consistent. He's going to have to box a lot better than he's boxed against Dave Allen and Ian Lewison, because it's a different type of intensity. And none of those guys, Lewison or Allen, have fought at world elite level. Experience can take you places that Allen and Lewison didn't have. I expect Dillian Whyte to win. I'm going with Dillian Whyte in this fight. There were moments I thought Derek Chisora could win this fight. I'm going to go with the guy that's fresher, younger, more hungrier, more focused, more dedicated, and more likely to listen to his corner when necessary. So I'm going to go with Dillian Whyte on this one. Points, or maybe Don Charles pulling out, pulling Derek Chisora out. Yeah, I think so. Versatility, Whyte can box southpaw and orthodox. We saw when Tyson Fury turned southpaw on Derek Chisora, he didn't know what to do. And the other thing is, like I've said before, Derek Chisora's style is suited for tall guys. Guys his own height or just a little taller than him, he's always struggled with. You tell me, what's been the most impressive performance Derek Chisora's had? Malik Scott? Kevin Johnson? Come on. I don't know. But I'm going with Dillian Whyte. But he has to box better. So Dillian Whyte. Let's see now. Let's see, we've got people in the room talking. I just gave you my prediction for Whyte Chisora. I'm going to go with Dillian Whyte in this one. I think if Chisora beats Dillian Whyte, again, Dillian Whyte is still, unproven in terms of what he's done in the pro ranks, because Anthony Joshua is still unproven. So there you have it with that. Oh, here, yes. Leon Jones explains. Yes, Michael, we can hear him, but that mic he has is top-notch studio one. He sounds fine, but he is using the original one. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to start using this mic till 2017, but yeah. Weeshaw says Dillian has to be the smart money. Can win on points to stop Derek Late. I agree with you there. Where can I watch The Gloves Are Off? It'll be on YouTube. I'm sure our good friend will do it. Surely your laptop isn't at a school that we can't hear you without a mic. LOL, says Jim Jones. Chisora unanimous decision. Charlie Cutting. Yeah, it could be. Chisora have to put on the fight of his life. Derek's only shot is to brawl and catch Whyte in the first 6, in my opinion. I agree with you with that one as well. England, question for you, Leon Jones says, what level is too much for Dillian Whyte? What sort of opponent level beats him? Tava. Movers beat Dillian Whyte. Anyone who's a good mover will beat Dillian Whyte. So I think something like Tava will give him problems. I think Eddie Chambers will give him a hell of a lot of problems. Movement. Guys who don't stand in front of Dillian Whyte will frustrate him. Got a good jab and move. Movers beat Dillian Whyte. Guys who come straight at him, he'll fight better with. DJ Silks, long-time listener, first-time commenting. Big up Ingram, love your content. Whyte on point to me, can't see a knockout. Okay, interesting. Charlie Cutton says Whyte may go Euro level. Okay, would Molina beat him? I actually think a better fight would have been Whyte versus Molina, Chisora versus Joshua. Because Joshua's style, Chisora's style would have been better against Joshua because of the bobbing and weaving and trying to get on the inside and trying to force the fight. And with Molina, we know Molina can dig, and it would be a good fight for Whyte because we'd have known kind of where he was. We don't know where Joshua is yet because, well, yeah, Joshua beat Whyte, but that doesn't mean anything because we don't even know how good Joshua is because he's not been tested. So. Con Sheehan is a real prospect. Jay Shanley, are you a Con Sheehan fan? Clearly you are. Do you believe Dillian is a younger version of Chisora? I said this yesterday and I cleared this up. No, I don't think he's a younger version of Derek Chisora. I think it's an insult to Dillian Whyte actually, because Derek Chisora up to this day still hasn't decided what fighter he is. I mean, if he's a bobbing and weaving fighter, if he's mentally Joe Fraser, I say Joe Fraser very loosely because comparing Chisora with Joe Fraser is a bloody insult. But Chisora is meant to be a bobbing and weaving style, getting on the inside. But with Joe Fraser, he got on the inside, did damage through left hooks, powerful left hooks, worked the body. He was a buzzsaw. He kept on you all the time. Derek Chisora used to get on the inside and didn't know what to do when he got on the inside. And still kind of, he kind of gets on the inside and still kind of messes about when he gets on the inside. Not enough body work, not enough head work. You know, and then when he's on the outside, he gets picked off by a jab and doesn't know how to get inside. So, and just bum rushes people. So, and he hasn't got, I don't know how many world-class heavyweights he's knocked over. So, Derek Chisora's style is very incomplete. Dillian Whyte seems to have made his mind up. Look, I can box and I can brawl. I can use a jab and keep you on the outside and stick with a jab. I can use short uppercuts on the inside. I can box you from the outside. I can turn southpaw. So Dillian Whyte is showing you a little bit more he can do. I used to brawl a lot. I'm trying to get more scientific with my boxing, but I can have a fight if necessary. Derek Chisora is not as defined and as polished as Dillian Whyte. That's long and short of it. When have you ever seen Derek Chisora behind a left jab trying to box his way to a victory? No. When have you seen Derek Chisora train southpaw? No. Derek Chisora's been doing the same. I said it before, I think it was last night I said it. Derek Chisora's been doing the same crap over and over and over and over and over and over again. So, yeah, Whyte, Joshua versus Whyte would have been more interesting, even though Chisora's done. Well, there we go. At what point does Derek Chisora stop being irrelevant for someone? Well, if he gets KO'd by Whyte, he becomes irrelevant, I think. Unless Con Sheehan wants to have a fight with him. You will see my channel. Yeah, long time no see. How are you? Good to see you in the room. Just focusing tonight specifically on Whyte and Chisora comments. Okay, right. While I'm at it, I could do one or two things. I can stop this show here, and I can do separate, which I think I'm going to do in a minute. I'm going to stop this show here. So, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about Anthony Joshua versus Eric Molina. So that'll be my review or preview. So I think I'm going to do that. So that'll be fine. Well, actually, there's more people coming into the room. So what I might do is just keep going. Okay, right. So I'm going to stop talking about Whyte Chisora. My prediction for those who are just coming into the room, I'm going with Dillian Whyte in the fight. I think he's more consistent. I think he's more adaptable. I think he'll listen to his trainer in the corner. I think out of the two fighters, you've seen progression with Dillian Whyte. And I don't think he's going to make much of a difference now. Chisora's going back with Don Charles. But I don't think Derek does. If the height of Derek's career, he wasn't listening to Don Charles, why now at the end of his career, he's going to start listening to Don Charles? So let's leave that where it is. Okay. Moving swiftly on. Thank you. I'm going to stay on here. Moving swiftly on. I remember, by the way, I remember when Don Charles moved to his new trainer, and people saying, "Yeah, great, right hand Derek through. He's now turning his punches over." But yet the fight after that, he looked terrible. So, whatever. Right, let's move on. Now we're going to talk about Anthony Joshua versus Eric Molina. You know, this is a this could be a very dangerous fight, and I'll tell you why I think it could be a dangerous fight. A lot of people will expect Eric Molina to get blown out in a round by Anthony Joshua. Okay, that's the plan, and I can understand where a lot of people are going with this, and that's great. However, there are a few points I'd like to make clear. Everyone talks about the Areola fight, and that was Eric Molina, who was inexperienced and basically was shitting his pants before he fought Areola. Okay, he was intimidated. Now, he was an intimidated fighter when he fought Areola. You've got to do your research in this one. And I've done my research in this well. Areola, when he fought, this was Molina's step-up fight. And Molina basically shit himself. Okay? He shit himself. Even though he shit himself, what people don't tell you and what people don't want to acknowledge is that before Areola knocked Molina out, Molina had badly wobbled Chris Areola. This was the unbeaten Chris Areola. This was the Areola that fought Vitaly Klitschko, or the Areola that fought Wilder, or the Areola that fought, you know, Bermane Stiverne twice and got knocked and dropped. No, I'm talking about the fresh Areola that everyone was touting to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Because remember back in the day, before he fought Vitaly Klitschko, a lot of people back in the day, don't talk about now, back in the day, Areola was the man to become the heavyweight champion of the world. The Mexicans' first heavyweight champion. Remember those days? Remember those days? So, for me, he hurt Areola, and then he got knocked out. He was scared of him. Okay. Next one. Then he got knocked out by Wilder. Yes. Again, people just hear he got knocked out by Wilder. Boxing fans, fanatics, are very quick to hear, oh, he got knocked out by it, and they don't want to look in it. Or they just look at box rec and they go, he got knocked out. I call these people love highlight reels, but don't actually study the fight. Hold on a second. I've got another idiot in my room. Excuse me a second. Why do people do this? Why do they come in the room talking rubbish and know when they're going to get blocked out of the room? Okay. So, back to my point. Sorry about that. I had a fly in my room. Back to my point. People don't study the fact that Wilder dropped Molina. Molina got up and he rocked Deontay Wilder. Dropped, got up, and rocked Deontay Wilder. Took big, heavy shots from a guy that's more athletic than Joshua, that's got faster hands than Joshua, and arguably moves around the ring better than Joshua because he's athletic. If you look at the way both guys are built, Wilder's got fast twitch muscles. Speed times strength equals power. All right? So, in terms of who punches harder, I would say who punches faster, because it's the punch you don't see that knocks you out. Okay? So, I would say that Wilder is far more, he's a faster puncher. He's got fast twitch muscles. So, it's bam, bam, more explosive than Joshua is more of a thumping puncher. Okay? So, Molina is more likely to see Joshua's punches coming, especially if Joshua's keep bulking up and bulking up and bulking up more and more and more and more. Another one going to get blocked in the room. Why do you do it, you idiots? Come in talking crap and get blocked. It's simple. When a guy is bulky, like Joshua, he's bulky and he keeps on putting on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, people think, oh, he's big, he's big. That don't mean you're a better boxer. It just means you're getting bigger. So as you're getting bigger, you're getting more bulkier. If you get more bulkier, you've got to carry that weight 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 rounds. There's been no heavyweight champion that I've known in the history of boxing that's been built like Anthony Joshua and has reigned for 5 and 10 years in boxing. Tell me, who in heavyweight history has had a build like Anthony Joshua and has dominated boxing for over 10 years or 5 years? Name me one. And I'm still waiting. They're not built like Joshua. Mike Tyson wasn't built like Anthony Joshua. Mike Tyson was 5'11" and short, squat, heavyweight, explosive. Totally different fighters, mate. Mike Tyson was short, squat. Frank Bruno, yes, and he dominated the heavyweight division for 10 years, did he? What happened with Frank when he went 8 or 9 rounds? What happened to Frank? And what happened when he met a guy that was short and explosive and could work well on the inside? Lewis was not built like Anthony Joshua. What are you talking about? Mike Tyson was muscle bound when he came back after he was incarcerated. Are you telling me Mike Tyson was muscle bound those years when he was knocking guys like Larry Holmes out? He was the youngest ever heavyweight champion. What are you talking about? All right, you know what? Anyway, let's move on. So my point is this. Back to Eric Molina. The worrying sign is, for me, that every guy that has knocked Eric Molina out has tasted some power, right? He's tasted some serious power from Eric Molina. Will it be what? What? Will it be Wilder, Areola, and most recently our friend Adamek, who got knocked out? Okay. So my concern with this Joshua fight is, if you go back and watch his last fight against Dominic Brazil. Joshua, to me, is a guy that is front foot happy, but does not have any concerns with being defensively responsible. He is not a guy that is defensively responsible. Like Parker, they like to throw their punches, which is what boxing's about. Boxing's about getting hit and not get hit. About hitting and not getting hit. When you're in a position to throw punches, your aim is to throw your punches and not be there to get hit. This is where you give percentages for a guy to get back and clip you with a shot. Okay? Now, my problem with Joshua is, yes, he's throwing all his punches. Go and look at the Brazil fight. We had a longer time to see Anthony Joshua. Is that he was running and throwing punches and he was getting clipped. He was getting clipped by Dominic Brazil. Brazil doesn't hit as hard as Molina. There's a problem. Because if Joshua were to get clipped by a guy like Molina, who's a dangerous man, he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. If Molina were to land on Joshua's chin, and then you've been hearing the stories about Joshua being knocked out in sparring by a cruiserweight, and it's not the first time. My concern is that should Molina clip Joshua, this is where the fight gets interesting. So, well, steamrolling guys that don't want to hit your back. You saw Dillian Whyte was the first guy that stood up to Joshua, and that was a guy that was injured. You heard it again on the gloves are off, and I told you repeatedly that this was a one-armed guy fighting. A one-armed guy fighting hurt Anthony Joshua and hurt him badly. Okay, he came back into the fight and won the fight, but that's an injured guy who was unfit, and that happened with a one-armed guy, and it was the left hand that he caught him, catch and shoot, the left hand, the left down the same shoulder that was injured. Okay, so he's not fought an opponent yet, bar Dillian Whyte, who said, you know what, I'm confident I can hurt you. I'm confident if I land on you, I can really cause you problems. I hurt Chris Areola. I hurt Deontay Wilder. I knocked out this recent guy, Adamek. I'm going to have a go with you. If you bang, I'm going to bang. People are saying, yeah, Charlie Cutton says Molina has a 1 in 25 chance of stopping him. Yeah, he has got a 1 in 25 chance. But it's look, it's boxing. I can't sit down and say to you, he's got no chance whatsoever. He's going to get smashed. I'm not going to tell you that. Not for this one. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you that because with somebody like Anthony Joshua, who is defensively irresponsible, I'm calling it now, defensively irresponsible, and he's so used to going there and blasting, knocking people over, I'm not worried about what's coming back. He probably does the same thing in sparring, and that's why he's getting clipped and knocked out in sparring, and it's not the first time. So I have concerns about Anthony Joshua, and even if he blows away Molina in this fight, and I'm not trying to cover my back or trying to be a smart ass here, I'm letting you know up now, straight, I'm concerned about his defensive responsibilities, and that's where my concerns are. When you're a guy that likes to go and steamrolling, going forward, steamrolling guys, and your chin might not be the best, and you're leaving yourself there's always an opportunity there for somebody to chuck a wild one over the top. There's always that possibility. Oh, that's heavyweight boxing, it can happen anytime. But the chances, the percentages are higher when you're taking risks. And you've got no defense. It's okay having a great offense, but if you've got no defense, eventually somebody will walk through and land one on you. And when they land one on you, what do? That is the problem. That's what makes a Molina dangerous. Experienced, I would say on paper, the best opponent Anthony Joshua's fought in his career so far. More than Dominic Brazil, more than Charles Martin, more than Dillian Whyte, because you've got a track. You can track back and see what Molina's done in his career. So all these people are like, oh yeah, he's going to roll him over. Just pray, really pray, that Molina doesn't get brave and land one on the chin of Anthony Joshua. Because if he lands a right hand on Anthony Joshua's chin, and you can take it from Bermain Stavern, he hits hard, harder than Joseph Parker. Okay, harder than Joseph Parker. So sit there and think, oh yeah, Josh is going to blow him out. But just go back and watch a Dominic Brazil fight. And Dominic Brazil is slow. His footwork weren't great, but Joshua was missing with those shots. He was missing with big looping shots, and when he was lunging in to land big shots, he was getting countered as well. So I wouldn't look too much into body language. I know he looks this and he looks that. Some guys, like Molina's not one of these guys who are reared up. He's not reared. Come fight like they handle the business. As long as he gets in the ring and handles his business come fight night, that's what matters. It doesn't matter about him sitting looking mean. Look at Charles Martin. Charles Martin looked at Anthony Joshua. What was his famous lines? I walk this earth like a gold. And what happened to him? There you go. Look at Dillian Whyte, was talking. What did Joshua do? Knocked him out, albeit Dillian Whyte was injured. So I really would not get hyped into what people say and how they look and their demeanor and their body language and, oh, you look shook. Let's see what happens fight night. But I pray to God, I really do, that Anthony Joshua does not go out recklessly throwing punches. Really don't. I really don't. Because that's where upsets happen. So that's where I'm concerned. All right. And if you put things into perspective, Fred Cassie, as my mind, beat Dominic Brazil. Fred Cassie fought Hugh Fury, and an ill Hugh Fury boxed the ears off of Fred Cassie. You saw it, I saw it, and he wasn't even well. So that tells you something. So there's people in the room. And I'll tell you this time, if Whyte couldn't capitalize and finish off AJ, if Molina hits AJ, you're not fighting with one-handed fighting there. You have a two-handed fighter who will be fit. Okay? This is a guy who's proven to get off the canvas. So, yeah. Let's hear what people are saying in the room now. I like to hear what people are saying in the room. Only comments on Joshua versus Molina now I will be taking. Okay. I can't get his name. I can't pronounce your name properly. It's Idolsman. I don't know what your name is. I'm sure that's a name back to front. But anyway, I'm just going to call you EE for short. My apologies if I can't pronounce your name. And please, my apologies again for that. I'd say that you, Joshua, has faster hands than Wilder. Well, that's a push. Wilder, when he gets excited, his technique goes out the window and he breaks his hand. When Wilder is going for the finish, he's wild. Yes, he's another one that's blatantly wild open. I'm not saying Wilder's defensively any better. Okay, I'm not saying he's defensively any better. What I'm saying is faster hands. I don't believe. I think that Wilder is the more athletic fighter. I think Wilder has got fast twitch muscles. You can't have fast twitch muscle with a big bulk like that Joshua is. So I can't really agree with you there. Yeah, to what other people are saying in the room. Damien McGirt, good evening, Damien. Maybe he hasn't faced an opponent yet that he has respected enough. Well, he doesn't respect Molina, and Molina pops in the chin, he'll soon get respect. Let's see. We sure everyone's got a puncher's chance. Well, in that case, then the odds need to be shortened if everyone's got a puncher's chance. Everyone's got a puncher's chance, but I would say those who have proven knockout power or power that generally can knock, it's like everyone's got a puncher's chance. Was Derek Chisora a big puncher? I mean, everyone's got a puncher's chance if they fight David Price. Let's put things in perspective here. Molina got nothing to lose, which makes him dangerous, says Jay Shelby. Charlie Cutting says, that's what the odds are saying. I think Molina may have a better chance. I do. Can he improve them for Klitschko next? Well, it's another thing. You're talking about a Klitschko fight. How can you jump from Eric Molina to Vladimir Klitschko? Surely, if you're going to make a title defense, you should have defended against Vac or Duhaupas. Why? Because they're both tall guys. So at least you could say you're preparing to fight Klitschko next. You're showing the intentions you're going to fight Klitschko next. Let's see you fight a guy the same height as yourself, who takes a good shot, Marius Vac or Duhaupas, and Duhaupas will throw punches back. And he fought Deontay Wilder as well, and he took Deontay Wilder a few rounds, and he shook up Deontay Wilder as well. That would have been a better fight, but no, we're going to fight Molina instead because he's been knocked out a few times. Shannon says, could have two Mexican world champions. You could. Looking at one night, Andy Ruiz and Molina. What a fight that could end up being. And there's every possibility Andy Ruiz could win the fight as well under Abel Sanchez. What do you think of Joshua's progress from going pro to now? I can't see any major technical developments. In fact, he won't improve drastically given when he came to boxing. That's a great point there. Part of the Rat Pack. Yeah, great point. I don't think he's improved. Jacob Andrews, if Molina gets hit with a good shot, he should act more hurt than he is to draw Joshua in. Okay. Both DJ Slicks asked the question, what do you think of AJ's body language in the gloves are off with Molina? He looked different, not as confident or convincing. Well, could be two ways. I mean, let's be honest. If you've just been getting chinned in sparring by a cruiserweight, I don't know. I don't know what to think. He could have been had an off day. You don't know what could be going on behind the scenes. You really don't know. He might have thinking, why am I fighting Molina? I don't want to fight Molina. I could be fighting Klitschko now, but Klitschko didn't want to fight me. It could be, God knows, he could have had an argument with his baby mother. You don't know what was going through his mind when that film was going on. Right? You just don't know. Zamana Love said Ruiz hits harder than Parker. LOL. Well, depends if one dropped him and the other one didn't. Brazil was terrible, says Damon McGirt. Just watch the Cassie fight. Daylight robbery. We saw 1985. Agreed. Molina didn't look too convinced he can hurt AJ on GO. Just seemed happy to be there. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't worry about that. Charlie Cutton says AJ might get wobbled by Molina early on. He might do. Whyte went at AJ on GAO. I don't know what you mean by that. These three Yanks have been all quiet and non-aggressive. AJ hype train. Michael said, I see Molina on the back foot from the get-go, scared to engage with AJ. Don't see many KOs on the back foot. Can't see Molina with much chance. Okay. Pat Rack, part of the pack, the Rat Pack, says technically and defensively he's weak. Joshua, what doesn't Molina tactically need to do to win the fight? What doesn't Molina tactically need to do to win the fight? What doesn't he need to do? I think Molina needs to feint. I think Molina needs to look at the shot that Joshua got caught with, which was while throwing his own shots, got caught with a catch and shoot. I think Molina needs to look to work to the body when he gets on the inside. If he's ever on the inside, he clinch, work Joshua's body. If there's any weaknesses, it could be there. And test the chin. Charlie Cutton says, Molina's got a better chance than many are giving him. This may go late. It may do. England, what do you think Joshua will do VAD testing, box debate UK? I know, I think did he not pull out a VADA testing? I don't know. DL Slick says, if AJ gets wobbled, you can bet your life he will turn into boxer mode and take it 12 rounds. I think he knows he can get hit by Molina and carries decent power. He didn't look confident in the gloves are off. No, he didn't. Well, he didn't turn and say, if you have a problem, we can take it outside. Or, he didn't say that. That was funny, though. That's probably the funniest AJ line I've heard. Yes, I think AJ has faster punch, faster hands in combination, but Wilder has a faster single punch. I don't know about that. I don't know how that works. How can a guy, I don't get that. How can an athletic guy like Wilder, I think Wilder's faster. Sorry, I can't agree with that. England, would you like to see Molina win? I just want to see the best man win. That's what I want to see. AJ prove himself to be the guy that everyone's hyping up to be at the moment. That's what I'd like to see. But if Molina does it and Molina wins, I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he comes as the underdog and proves everyone wrong. And if Joshua does a better job than Molina, well, he can't do a better job than Molina because Ariela's done the job on him. So I don't know. Interesting that AJ ducked Price. Let's see who's next. Asian Remedy, good evening. Hope you're well. Duhaupas would have given AJ hell. Hearn didn't want that for him. Would have been a great learning fight for him, and I wouldn't even have him winning that. I would love to see him fight Duhaupas. Better fight. Jay Shanley, AJ so stiff now, his one dimension will get exposed. Matt, it's MBE. I can't believe AJ's team are telling him to lose aren't telling him to lose some of that muscle. I've seen how stiff he looked today. I can see an accident waiting to happen ahead. Frank Bruno all over again. Frank Bruno all over again. You heard it here. Do you think Molina's better than Chisora? Who's Chisora's best win? Boxing Debate UK says VADA voluntary testing, AJ as UCAD on payroll. I mean, Adrian Remedy, AJ's right hand was so low against Brazil. Well, there you go, defensively. Charlie Cutting says he didn't duck Price. Price did deserve to share a ring with him. LOL. Well, story for you, Charlie Cutting. Robert Kraken was quoted in saying after Lawrence chinned Joshua in sparring, McCracken was overheard saying, "That's the reason why you shouldn't be fighting Pricey at this point in time. If this cruiserweight's knocking you over, then we don't want you to be anywhere near Pricey." Those were words of what McCracken was quoted on. Ingram, your mate Arnold's making a comeback. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, a rent to win next Saturday. Do you want to see him in a big fight? No. Yeah, actually, I do want to see him fight. I want to see Cobra versus Demori. That'd be a good fight. We sure 1985 says yes. AJ doesn't pass the eye test for me. Since going pro, he's got bigger and bigger. Do you believe he's 100% clean? I guess the way to answer that question is I was a little concerned after the Dillian Whyte fight. His dad was jumped in the interview and said, "Oh, a lot of people are saying that AJ is on drugs, but no, it's all clean. He's completely clean." I'm like, for me, nobody asked his dad that question. Nobody asked AJ that question, but his dad voluntarily came out and answered those questions. Said that, and for me, that was concerning. But he's constantly getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And what's the point? But hey, I don't know. For me to turn around and say that he's on drugs or he's on PEDs is a big statement. I don't know. And I'm not making that kind of statement because I don't want people coming back to me. And I know what sort of rats they are watching my show that will go back and say, "Oh, yeah, by the way, that Bayloric TV said that he's on PEDs." You rats. I know you're waiting for me to say something about it, so you're not going to get it from me. When AJ gets hit, he freezes up, a la Frank Bruno. I told you. AJ hasn't fought anyone good, so how can you make out like he's that good? Well, explain to the fans that. Do you believe Eddie will try and sell us Joshua Whyte again in 2007 to delay Klitschko fight even longer if both win on Saturday night? Hey, very, very, very possible. This is the man. Listen, I don't trust a word. You rats, you know who you are watching the show, right? My message is this. Man says one thing one week, and then he says another thing another week. He says one thing one week, he says one thing. He'll say anything for the camera. He likes the spotlight, wants to say whatever he wants to say at the time, give you a bit of bullshit, and you, the sheep out there, say who worship Eddie. Eddie, everything you say is spot on. Everything you say is perfect. And Eddie looks at you and says, you're idiots. Because one week I say this, and next week I say that. And there's no accountability. If I say it this week, he's the best thing since sliced bread. The next week, he's the worst thing since sliced bread. Oh, what was it? Carl Frampton. He's the best in the world, and he's going to smash Scott Quick. Oh, Frampton leaves him. Oh, we've got the best in the world. It's Scott Quick. He's going to smash Carl Frampton. Okay. Well, another situation. Oh, you know what? If you go down the route and you go and fight Frampton, if you go down the route, the route you want to go down, you're not going to get the Cruz fight. You're not going to get a Santa Cruz fight. You're not going to get Kiko Martinez fight. You're not doing it the right way. You need to be with us. Of course. Or the latest one, Cristiano is Chris Arreola sparked him in a round, and Wilder sparked him. Nah, not really good enough for Joshua. Oh, actually, I'm shitting my pants because, you know, I think that Molina might be a threat. Well, make your mind up. Make your mind up. Make your mind. Either one way or the other, or you know what? Just stay in the middle. Just stay in the middle. Stay neutral. And just, you know, because I don't know. Let's see. Now, here we go. Bye. Okay, let's see what we've got here now. Yeah, but Ingram, Price hasn't beat anybody of note to get a title shot. I know you say that, but in terms of caliber of opponents he's faced, what David Price has faced and what Anthony Joshua faced are levels apart. Price got knocked out by Tony Thompson, but at least he got in the ring with the guy who's ranked number 2 or number 3 in the world. Okay, that's when Price fought Thompson. Where's Joshua fought anybody ranked 2 or 3 in the world ever? You can knock Price all you want, but at least he fought the top guy or one of the top guys in the top 10. Who's Joshua fought was in the top 10 yet, and he's world champion. Price ain't even the world champion. Just saying. So what has Molina done? He fought Adamek. Okay, fine. But Molina got knocked out in a round by Arreola, and he got chinned by Wilder. Does that warrant a world title shot? Okay, you can look at it if you want to, that way if you want to. Neither AJ, will McCracken swerve Klitschko and Hay next year then? Well, who knows? Guja. Did you give a prediction for Whyte Chisora? I have done it already. Shots TV says, I remember you saying whoever got the best of each other, gloves are off, will win the fight. Who do you think got the better of each other? I'm going to retract what I said now. Do you know why I retract what I said? Because of what I saw of Dillian Whyte today. He looked focused, ready, like he'll stick to the game plan. Eddie flip-flop, indeed. Warrington left Eddie because he didn't dare to be great and fight AJ at catchweight, 190 pounds. LOL. Best interview of the week. Thank you very much. That was very good. I've got another 3 hours of that, but now I've got 4 hours of that on my channel. Peter, what's the score with Peter Sims? Has he been sacked? Can't have two sets of ideas in the corner. Listen, I think I explained this the other day for those people who didn't know. McCracken has always been training Anthony Joshua. Okay? Always been training Anthony Joshua. He's just now allowed to do it professionally, and he can be in the corner. That's what. But he's always been training Joshua. That's old news. Oh, we've got a really intelligent person in the room. Mr. Chicken Bob Joe. Well, first of all, you're a coward. But he says, you're black. Yes, I am. You're very intelligent. Charlie Cutton, you don't understand. He beat 2 undefeated opponents in Johnson. Look who Price beat. You sound daft, Jay. He's working alongside McCracken like he did with Froch. He is, but he was doing it for a while. Price has fought the better quality opposition. Exactly. Ingram knows. Well, he has. Jay, you're dumb. Okay. And Thompson gave Vlad a very difficult first fight. That was a good Thompson. Agreed. How highly do you rate Pulev? Very highly. I always rate Pulev. I rate Pulev. I put Pulev to beat Vladimir Klitschko based on the Pulev's jab and the movement and what stuff. I thought it would give Klitschko nightmares. But then, for some reason, Pulev couldn't get out. his feet were stuck in the mud. The only fight in this crowd seen his feet stuck in mud. And then we saw the canvas after that, which Fury is going to fight on. And we saw it was spongy. So that's the reason why Pulev's legs looked like the way they were. His footwork looked awful. So I still rate Pulev very highly. Very, very highly. Okay, here we go. We've got somebody trying to be smart in the room. Bye. Oh, I haven't done the Conception FIO fight. Yeah, I haven't done it. To be honest, I haven't looked at Conception too much, but I will do. Oh, we've got another one in the room. Oh, it's been blocked anyway. That's all right. At least get pricing with the Hamer or Mansour for Eliminator. Well, I wouldn't price anywhere near Mansour, but I'd stick him with Hamer. That'd be a good fight for price. I think I've said everything I could say now. I think in terms of Whyte, Chisora, I'm looking for Whyte to put on to show that he belongs at a certain level now. If Whyte doesn't beat Derek Chisora, there's some problems. If Derek Chisora beats Dillian Whyte, then I guess it's a revival in his career, but he's going to have to look very good doing it. Do I see any improvements in Whyte since the AJ fight? Yep, he's using both hands and he looks fitter. Considering AJ's only 18 fights in and Wilder's 30 plus, some say AJ's Whyte fighting Wilder's leftovers, even though AJ is fighting them in under 20 fights. Yes, I think that actually that Molina is going to fight a better Molina than what Wilder than the Wilder one. He would have learned from the Wilder fight and said, well, if I can fight Wilder and I can hurt Wilder, I can take chances and I can I'll be able to do better against Joshua. That's what he might come over and say. When I interviewed Molina, he kept saying the same thing over and over again. He says, for me to beat Joshua, I need to be confident. So what do you think would happen if Whyte loses to Hearn? I think if they already believe that Dillian Whyte's going to lose to Chisora, they'll strike up a deal. Or deals may already be struck behind closed doors should Chisora win. Yeah, Price versus Whyte would be an interesting fight. Very interesting fight. I think that's about it for now, unless anybody's got anything else to say. Whyte apparently going to fight Chisora afterwards. I think the closest comparison to Joshua is Bruno. What do you think of McCracken as a trainer? Oh, I think he's a good trainer. He's a good trainer. Who do you think's got a better resume, Wilder or AJ, excluding Stavern? How's Wilder's previous opponent? I think that Wilder's been guided better. He's had more time to kind of like, and his reign as world heavyweight champion, I think has been guided better. Can we talk about Ruiz versus Parker? Yeah, we can talk about Ruiz versus Parker. Well, we can touch on it. I told you about Parker being defensively irresponsible. I think that somebody like Abel Sanchez will try and get Ruiz to lose weight, be more mobile, and get inside and hurt Parker. Well, just depends. Can we talk Hey Value? There's not much to talk about. If you listen, I would advise, if you can, people watching this show at the moment, check out the interview I did with a gentleman by the name of Russell Hartley. If you want somebody speaking truth about boxing, if you want to hear about straight talking, no BS, no spin, straight up boxing talk from a guy who knows what he's talking about, check out the Russell Hartley interview. Very funny, and breaks down the poor matchmaking and dare to be great suicidal matchmaking. Povetkin, Stiverne, I can't wait for that fight. Not just because I like both guys, but I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight. I really do. LOL, Abel's been on a round the world trip this month. He has indeed. He has indeed. I think it's a great fight. Yeah, I believe Abel Sanchez has been training. Andy Ruiz, I'm sure he'll be in his corner. I think it's a great fight. What does Povetkin do as he comes forward? Will Stiverne be able to counter what Povetkin does? For those of you who want to know the state and the shape that Stiverne has been in, check out the videos. We've got Stiverne, great head work, doing head work with head movement, body work, pad work. It's all on the channel, so check that out there as well. And we've got an interview, an in-depth interview exclusive with Bayloric TV. Stiverne talking about his fight, career, what he expects from Alexander Povetkin, in depth. It's a long interview, but it's also got questions and answers for you, the boxing fans. We did that with you as well. So Stiverne's going for the knockout, which is going to make it exciting. Can you see Eddie putting Ortiz in the ring with Hay in 2017? No. I think gloves are off are going to be on Davies' channel. Can't see him getting past Povetkin. I tell you, if he gets past Povetkin, I think it's a great win. I don't want to hear anybody saying Povetkin was past it, Povetkin was crap. But the thing is, which Povetkin's going to show up? That's the key thing. Is it the Povetkin versus Perez, who seemed to be up to his eyeballs in something, or is it the Povetkin that fought Huck? Which Povetkin are we going to see? So VADA and the WBC have been doing the drugs testing, so we'll see which Povetkin it's going to be. But I think it's a great fight. I think it's a really great fight. But he has a great chance to win. I don't understand why Hayes is betting favourite. I'll tell you why. Because if you go look at the BJ Flores fight, go look at the Makabu fight, go and look at the Over McKenzie fight. He's open to the right hand, and David Hayes' best punch is his right hand. And as soon as that right hand lands on Mr. Belly's chin, this fight could go as quickly as Hay versus Macronelli. That's how quickly this fight could happen. So yeah. Bellew is quick, Ingram. Quick at what? Quick at falling over. Quick. You need Jay Shanley. You need to go and listen to listen to the interview with Russell Hartley. He'll tell you what's up with that fight. Right, I'm off. Cheers, Ingram. First time listening. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Yeah, Derek Chisora versus Dillian Whyte is out, I think, on Davies' channel. Do you think Tyson Fury will ever fight again? From what I understand, it seems that Tyson's retired, but I don't know. So I think that's it from me. I think I've said it. Don't forget, December the 12th. No, December the 14th. Sorry. Wednesday, December the 14th, 11 p.m. UK time. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our last show for Bayloric TV Boxing Channel. It's been a good journey, but all good things must come to an end. So be there, December the 14th, this channel. Bo Bland will be hosting the show. and hopefully we'll have a few people popping in for the last show. It should be fun. So that's it. Just carry on supporting the channel. Enjoy the interviews. Enjoy the features, and please subscribe to my other YouTube channel, which is Bayloric, Bayloric. That's our main channel, which has got loads of boxing interviews on there and features that people haven't seen or watched before. Check them out. All right, please check them out. Okay, I'm out of here. This has been Ingram Jones from Bayloric TV. Thank you for watching, and I'm out of here. Take care.